everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Short Tutorial. Today I will discuss something new topic from anatomy. I will discuss about the human skeletal system. Okay, so in human skeletal system we learned so many bones names and which bones were located, every bones locations we will learn. Okay, so So, before starting this topic, the skeleton systems, we all have to know about the divisions of human skeletons and what's the parts of the skeletons and what's the function of the skeletons. Okay, so skeletal means that forms the main supporting framework of the body. I means our body structure is formed by the skeletons. Okay, it's primarily designed for more effective production such as movements by the attached muscles, a familiarity with the names, shapes and positions of individuals' bones will be very useful in understanding the regional anatomy of the body and functioning of the other organ system. Okay, so the skeletons exactly forms the main supporting frame of the body. Okay, so we will learn so many divisions of the human skeletal systems and the bones names of the skeleton systems. Okay, so now I will discuss about the divisions of human skeleton. Okay, so there's human skeleton can be grouped into two principal divisions. There are two principal divisions. The first one is axial skeleton. Okay, and the second one is appendicular skeleton. So here we got the human skeleton can be grouped into two principal divisions. The first one is axial skeleton and the second one is appendicular skeleton. Okay, so in axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton, there's a total of 206 bone constitute the adult human skeleton. Okay, of these 80 bones from the axial skeleton and 126 bones from the appendicular skeleton. So the total bone in our body is 206 bones. Okay, constitute the adult human skeleton. So we got two divisions of human skeletons. Number one is axial skeleton and the second one is appendicular skeleton. Now the axial skeleton parts. Okay, here's the axial skeletons consist of the bones that lie around the axis part of the body, such as these including the skull, the hyoid bone, the vertebral column, sternum or breastbone, and also the ribs. These all are including in axial skeleton. Okay, so now I will say about the skull. Okay, the skull means including the mandible. It's the skull is a highly modified region of the axial skeleton. It's composed of a large number of separated bones which are united by sutures. Okay, exactly, the basically the skull can be divided into two parts, two main parts. The number one is cranium parts and the second part is facial skeleton parts. Okay, so in cranium there are so many bones such as two parietal bones, two temporal bones, and on each the occipital bones, frontal bones, sphenoid bones, and ethmoid bones. Okay, so the cranium is the upper bowl shaped part of the skull which contains the brain, and the cranium consists of mainly 8 bones, two parietal bones, two temporal bones on each of the occipital bones, frontal bones, sphenoid bones, and ethmoid bones. Okay, it is the cranium parts of the skulls. And now the facial skeleton. Okay, the facial skeleton is also the part of the skull. Okay, so the facial skeleton is the lower part of the skull, which is described as the facial skeleton or the viscerocranium. Okay, facial skeleton consists of 14 bones. We got 8 bones in cranium parts and 14 bones in facial skeleton parts. Okay, which only two are singles, such as the single frontal bones forms the forehead and articulates with the nasal bones, the maxilla and the zygomatic bones in the formation of the face. Okay, so it's the facial skeleton parts of the skull. And now the hyoid bone. Okay, the hyoid bone is also a unique component of the axial skeleton parts because it does not articulate with any other bones. It's mainly located in the neck, between the mandible and larynx. Okay, so in between the mandible and larynx the hyoid bone is located. It is suspended from the styloid process of the temporal bone by the ligaments of muscles. Okay, so it's the hyoid bone. Okay, now the structure of vertebral column. Vertebral column, in vertebral column is also known as backbone of our body, cause it is a strong flexible column formed by vertebra piled on upon another. Okay, so vertebral column is also known as backbone. It's a strong flexible column, and in vertebral columns there are so many bones. Mainly vertebral column is formed of 33 vertebra in all, such as cervical vertebra, thoracic or dorsal vertebra, lumbar vertebra, sacral vertebra and coccygeal vertebra. Okay, these are including in vertebral column. Okay, so in vertebral column there are 33 vertebra. I means the vertebral column is formed of 33 vertebra in all. Okay, but one things in vertebral column you all have to remain that in terms of separated bones, the vertebral column consists of 26 bones. Okay, 24 separated movable vertebra on sacrum made of 5 fused vertebra, and on coccygeal vertebra made of 4 fused vertebra. Okay, so by 5 fused vertebra is made on sacrum vertebra, and 4 fused vertebra is also made on coccyx vertebra. So there's the vertebra columns consist of 26 bones. Okay, and now the thoracic cage. Okay, thoracic cage means the skeleton of the thorax, or the thoracic cage protects the heart, lungs and other thoracic organs. Okay, I means inside the thoracic cage there are so many organs is located, such as heart, lungs and other organs. So the skeleton of the thorax or thoracic cage protects the heart, lungs and other thoracic organs. Okay, the thoracic cage is exactly formed by sternum, ribs and thoracic vertebra. Okay, there's one sternum, 12 pairs of ribs and also 12 thoracic vertebra. Okay, so the thoracic cage is formed by sternum, ribs and thoracic vertebra. Ribs, but you all have to know that in ribs there's 12 pairs of ribs from the side walls of thorax. Each ribs is a long curved bone having a posterior end and also having an anterior end. Okay, so the posterior ends of the 12 ribs are attached in to the vertebra column. Depending upon the attachment of anterior end, the ribs have been classified into 3 groups. Okay, depending upon the attachment of anterior end of the ribs. Okay, the ribs have classified into three groups: true ribs and fall ribs and floating ribs. True ribs means the anterior end of the upper seventh pair of ribs is attached to the sternum through a bar of costal cartilage. Okay, so the anterior end of the upper seventh pair of ribs is attached to the sternum through a bar of costal cartilage. These are called true ribs. Okay, and the false ribs means the costal cartilage of 8 to 10th number of ribs. 8 to 10th number of ribs, I means the next three pairs of ribs, such as the 8th ribs, the 9th ribs and 10th ribs, are not attached to the sternum directly but end by getting attached to the next higher cartilage. Okay, that's why they are attached indirectly to the sternum and called false ribs. Okay, and the last is floating ribs. Floating ribs refer to the 11th and 12th ribs. Okay, the 11th number and 12th number ribs are called the floating ribs because the anterior ends of these ribs are free, or means they are located as floating situations. Okay, so these two ribs are called floating ribs. So it's all about these the from the axial part of the body. Okay, axial skeletal part of the body. So now I will discuss about the appendicular skeleton. The appendicular skeleton consists of total 126 bones. The appendix are upper limbs and shoulder girdles, and also the lower limbs and pelvic girdles. Okay, so in shoulder girdles and upper limbs, each girdles consist of two bones on clavicle and on scapula, and each upper limb is formed by 30 bones on humerus, on radius, on ulna, 8 carpal bones, 5 metacarpal bones and 14 phalanges bones. Okay, and now the pelvic girdle and lower limbs. Pelvic girdle mainly is formed by two hip bones, also known as innominate bones or ossia cocci. Okay, pelvic girdle is formed by two hip bones. So, and also the lower limb is formed by following by 30 bones. Okay, the lower limb is formed by 30 bones on femur, on patella, on tibia, on fibula, on tarsal bones. 7 tarsal bones, 5 metatarsal bones, and 14 phalangeal bones. Okay, so there are 30 bones in lower limbs. So it's all about the skeleton systems and the bones names. Okay, so we got so many bones in skeleton system, 206 bones, such as in brain parts we got frontal bones, parietal bones, occipital bones, temporal bones, zygomatic bones, maxilla bones, mandible bones, nasal bones, sphenoid bones, lacrimal bones, vomer bones, and also superior and inferior conchia bones. Okay, and the upper or superior extremities, we got humerus bone, radius bones, ulna bones, phalanges bones, carpal bones, and metacarpal bones. Okay, and the lower extremities we got femur, tibia, fibula, phalanges, tarsal, metatarsal, patella, in thorax portions, clavicle, scapula, sternum, ribs. Okay, and vertebra portions, cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, coccygeal. It is all about these bones form the skeleton systems that forms our body structure. Okay, so it's all about the discussions of from the anatomy of skeleton systems.